The other founder of Armenian music of the Middle Ages, and who could match in greatness to Grigor Narekatsi, is Mersesh Shnorali. Unlike Grigor Narekatsi, we have detailed information about the life and works of Mersesh Shnorali. He was born in Kluk region of Antioch in 1101 at the Armenian Zovk fortress. He was a member of the Prince Abirat Pahlavuni family. He was educated in the school of Red Monastery, where he was taught by the renowned priest Stepanos. He was only 18 years old when he was ordained a priest. He was soon promoted to the ranks of bishops. He lived and worked in the monastery until 1149 in Zovk. Then in Haromkala he became the assistant and colleague of his oldest brother, Catholicus Grigor III Pahlavuni. He became a Catholicus in 1166, where he served until his death in 1173. He left behind many literary and musical works. He started to write and compose in 1121, and his first work was Yipasanuchun. During this time, Armenians already populated Kilikia, and the culture was flourishing outside Armenia. Places like Red Monastery and Haromkla were also under the sovereignty of Kilikia. Therefore, Shnorali became the greatest representative of Armenian culture in that part of the world. According to historical records we have, Shnorali was a songwriter and a musician. He was a singer, teacher, theorist, aesthetician, and a reformist. He has enriched and purified the Armenian mass music from foreign influences. As a singer, he was the first to perform his compositions, which were praised for their sweet melody, and he was commended for his sweet voice. As a theoretician, he worked on the Armenian musical 8 voices and the system of notes called khaz. An old list of khaz has been discovered, dating back to the middle of the 12th century, that most probably belongs to Shnorali. How did the Armenian musical notation originate? After the reformation of Armenian sacred music in the 8th century, the next problem that the spiritual leaders were facing was a preservation of the sacred music in its pure form. Therefore, it was important to record the Armenian sacred music, which was compiled over many centuries. Beginning in the 9th century, the Armenian musical notations began to take shape, and in the 12th to 14th centuries, that is, during Shnorali's period and after Shnorali, it was completed. The score of many compositions were recorded such that there were books of scores. In these khaz books, there were many Armenian sacred music compositions. These notes were accessible to the khaz writers of those days, since they were educated in the universities near the monasteries, where they studied and mastered the art of khaz writing. Unfortunately, later on, during the 18th century, due to some very secretive clergymen, the knowledge of reading of the khaz system was lost. Since then, the experts of sacred music have been trying to decipher those notes. Therefore, the Armenian sacred music was taught orally once again, and for this reason it was influenced by the music of foreign churches, and some songs were even unrecognizable. This was a very serious issue for the church and the government. Some were suggesting adopting the European system of notation, and some were suggesting the use of Greek notation system. Others suggested creating a new notation system which would suit the distinctive character of the Armenian music and ensure the accurate recording of Armenian music. The latter was the victor in this case. Constantinople became the center of the creation of notations for Armenian music. This system was called after Hampartium Limontian, the Limontian system. Baba Hampartium Limontian was born in 1768 in Constantinople. His family was originally from Kharkiv. He had a great talent for music. His musical education was mainly self-taught. He was well versed in the sacred music and later on became an expert in this field. He was well aware of the fact that Armenian religious music contained many foreign elements. Limonjian took 7 symbols of the old Armenian Khaz system and used the first note as the 8th note. There are original and changed notes in the system, as well as duration symbols which show the rhythm. Since its creation, the system has been subjected to many changes by Limonjian students and followers. The names of symbols were mainly changed since Baba Hambartumian used Turkish and Arabic names. His students utilized the first syllables of the name of the Khazes used in the Middle Ages. For example, Pushpo, Ekorj I, Vernachag V, Bengorj B, Khosrovain Kho, Neknachag N, Paruk Pa. The symbols for the intensity of the music were completed by the student of Limonjian, Aristakes Ovanesian, and his student Gabriel Yeranian, who played a big role in this matter. In the 1873, the Catholicos of Echmiadzin in Kevork Fort signed an agreement with one of the youngest followers of Limonjian, Nikoros Tashjan, to go to Echmiadzin and record the sacred music using the Limonjian system. In 1874-75, Tashjan's recorded music, Mass, Psalter, and Book of Hymns were published. Another important book of the Armenian sacred music is Yeria Tantesian's recorded hymns. Tantesian was another follower of Tashjan. However, there are major differences between his work and Tashjan's work, which are still subject to